Hello friends. It's around 6 in the morning. A woman in Miami is getting her kids ready for school. Her phone buzzes. It's an email from her employer's HR department, asking her to bring in updated work authorization documents by the end of the week. Her heart drops. She has had temporary protected status for years. She thought her paperwork was settled. She thought she had time. She did not know that just weeks earlier, the U.S. Supreme Court had changed everything for people like her. This is not a rare story. It is happening right now, in real homes, across the United States, to people from Haiti and Syria who built their lives here under temporary protected status, often called TPS. But here is what most people still do not realize. This is not a single deadline you can mark on a calendar and forget about. This is a rolling deadline. It keeps moving. And that is exactly why it is so dangerous for the people affected. Let's slow down and explain what actually happened, because the details matter more than the headlines. On June 25, 2026, the Supreme Court issued a major decision in a case called Mullen v. Doe. In that ruling, the court sided with the Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, and said that federal courts generally cannot review the government's decision to end TPS for a country. In simple terms, the government now has much stronger legal power to end TPS protections, and the courts have very little room to step in and stop it. This ruling hit two countries the hardest: Haiti and Syria. For Haitian TPS holders, this affects an enormous number of people, somewhere between 330,000 and 350,000 individuals. For Syrian TPS holders, the number is smaller, somewhere between 3,800 and 6,000 people. But small or large, every single one of these numbers represents a real person. A parent. A worker. A student sitting in a classroom right now, wondering if their family status will still be valid by the time they graduate. Someone with a lease, a job, a family depending on them. Here is where many people make a mistake. They hear Supreme Court ruling and assume their status ended immediately, on that exact day. It did not. And they also assume they now have a long, stable window to figure things out. That is also wrong. The truth sits in between, and that middle ground is what makes this situation so confusing and so risky. After the ruling, USCIS, which is the agency that handles immigration paperwork, did not immediately cancel work permits. Instead, they started issuing short-term extensions. First, work authorization for Haiti and Syria was pushed to July 1st. Then it was extended again to July 10th. Then again, separately, for several countries including Syria, to July 17th, and for Haiti specifically, to July 24th. Do you see the pattern here? This is not one deadline. It is deadline after deadline, extended in small steps, while lower courts work through the details of how to actually apply the Supreme Court's decision. That is why we are calling this a rolling deadline. It keeps shifting, sometimes by just days at a time. This is not just a recommendation to pay attention. In practical terms, for many workers, this is federal law directly affecting whether they can legally hold a job in the United States right now. So why does this matter so much, even if your extension has not expired yet? Because employers are watching closely too. Many companies are required to check work authorization documents through a system tied to the government, and when a TPS-based work permit's extension date changes, employers often ask for updated proof almost immediately. If you are not prepared, you could be caught off guard at work, even while your legal status is technically still valid on paper. This small mistake, waiting until your employer asks instead of monitoring your own status, can create serious problems later. It can mean confusion at your job, delays in pay, or even wrongly being told you cannot work when you actually still can. Let's talk about what happens if these extensions stop being renewed, because that is the real fear driving this story. If TPS for Haiti or Syria is fully terminated with no further court intervention, two major things happen at the same time. First, your work permit, your employment authorization document, is no longer valid. Second, your protection from deportation goes away as well. That means you could become subject to removal proceedings, and your legal ability to stay and work in the United States comes into serious question. Many people also assume that because their community, their neighbors, or people online are saying TPS is over, it means it ended for everyone at once, on the same day. In reality, the situation is playing out country by country, court by court, sometimes even case by case. What applies to Haiti this week may not exactly match what applies to Syria, or to other countries like Somalia, Yemen, Ethiopia, Burma, or South Sudan, all of which are dealing with similar legal battles right now. So what should you actually do if you or your family are affected? First, and most importantly, do not rely on rumors, social media posts, or second-hand information from friends. Go directly to the official USCIS website and check the specific TPS page for your country. These pages are being updated regularly, sometimes multiple times within the same month, with new extension dates. Second, if you are working under TPS-based work authorization, talk to your employer proactively. Do not wait for them to come to you. Show them your current documentation, and if possible, provide a copy of any official USCIS guidance related to extensions for your country. This can prevent confusion at your workplace before it starts. Third, and this is critical, speak with a qualified immigration attorney as soon as possible. This is not the moment to guess or assume. Every person's situation is different. Some individuals may be eligible for other forms of legal status they have not yet explored, such as family-based petitions, asylum, or other humanitarian protections. An attorney can review your specific history and help you understand your options before a deadline arrives, not after. Fourth, keep copies of everything. Your current TPS approval notice, your employment authorization document, and any letters or emails from USCIS about extensions. If your status or paperwork is ever questioned, having organized documentation can make a significant difference. And if you have children in school, or family members who depend on your income, it is worth having an honest conversation with them now, calmly, without panic, so that no one is caught off guard by news that moves faster than expected. What happens next surprises a lot of people, because this is not moving toward a single, clean resolution. Lower courts are still actively working through multiple related cases. That means more updates are likely, and they could come with very little warning. Some may bring short additional extensions. Others may bring stricter enforcement timelines. The pattern so far has been short bursts of relief, not long-term certainty. Let's do a quick recap of everything we just covered. The Supreme Court ruled in June that the government has strong authority to end TPS for Haiti and Syria, and that courts have limited power to block those terminations. This directly affects hundreds of thousands of Haitian TPS holders and thousands of Syrian TPS holders. Since that ruling, USCIS has issued a series of short, rolling extensions for work authorization, moving the deadline forward in small increments rather than granting long-term stability. Other countries, including Syria alongside Burma, Ethiopia, Somalia, South Sudan, and Yemen, are tied into this same unfolding legal situation. If these extensions stop, affected individuals lose both their work authorization and their protection from removal at the same time. And the most important action you can take right now is checking official USCIS updates directly, talking to your employer early, and consulting an immigration attorney before your specific deadline arrives. This is a fast-moving, serious situation, and it is still changing. If you or someone you know is affected by TPS for Haiti, Syria, or any of the other countries involved in this litigation, please do not wait until the next deadline shows up unexpectedly. Check official government sources regularly. Talk to a licensed immigration professional about your specific case. And if this video helped you understand what is happening, share it with someone who may be affected. They may not have this information yet, and for them, that could make all the difference. If you want to stay informed as this situation continues to develop, consider subscribing, because these updates are likely to keep coming, and we will keep breaking them down clearly, accurately, and without the panic.